Hi.
That was new. I was like, what is that?
I need to add that. It's my reminder to be a typical YouTuber. Please subscribe and like.
You're so basic. You're so basic.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Basic AF. I love it.
Anyways, hi, my name is Xer Girl. This is Tugs. We are doing a very chill stream today.
So very chill. We're gonna turn into ice cubes right in front of your
Sip
eyes.
and chill, sip and chill. I decided that I'm too tired to watch a TV show.
Honestly, I need a break, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So we're just gonna I kind of enjoyed how last week we talked about like tweets and all this like controversial topics. And so we're just gonna continue that. I think that I enjoyed that. I enjoy that quite a bit. So
I do too.
Before we start, we're gonna do a little bit of this.
Go X-ray girl.
I love how he writes it in French.
I know, it's awesome.
Cajun Corey Work from $9.99 says, "Go X-ray girl," and hugs for the sweet Tugs. I added a word there. Looking forward to another fun stream and love you, ladies.
Love you. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you. Big supporter. I love it. I love it. And Johnny, are you done your
Johnny, is he finally
done?
You
done?
Oh
are you done? Like, I actually have no idea.
I some food for the love of Pete.
Are you still going? No, he finished.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. That is what she said.
Johnny, please. I don't know if you're still here, but please eat something like legitimate, like a meal. Have a steak or something.
I know you showered, so you got that.
He did shower? Was that on stream? Did I miss that?
No, so he left and did like a share stream to shower in like the morning when I woke up, and I was like, okay.
Nobody was watching. That's
great. Says Hale, thanks for dominating Fortnite with me earlier. Gonna have to catch up later on the stream, but I can't wait to do so. Y'all are the best. Thank you, Johnny.
Aww. We love you, Johnny. And anytime you need us to help you dominate, you just let us know. I know you're gonna watch.
Apparently, he did not do as well when we left.
No. When I came in, was it the first time I came in? Yeah, when I came in this morning at work, I think it was about 10:30 my time. I came in, it was like I didn't get the notification. Everybody told me he was still going, and they just like as I was watching, got their first victory royale. I was like, wow,
he's sleepy. He's sleepy. That's what happens when you do a 24-hour stream. I can barely do a 5-hour stream without being like,
I was so tired after my charity stream, my 5-hour charity stream. I was exhausted.
Well, it's like you want to play and enjoy and still entertain people. So I get it, right?
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. So they got their first victory royale and the entire time, and they're like, it's an all-man team, roar. And I was like, yeah, it took you guys like 18 hours.
The whole day, night?
The whole day. Awkward.
Yep. Hail chat, by the way. Thank you for joining us. We got a couple things that we want to talk about. What?
Did Johnny get the dub to finish the stream? Yes! That's at least good.
Good job, Johnny. Good job, Johnny. Making us proud.
And Eric K is back. Hi, Eric K.
Hi, Eric K.
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh. And Spider Unlimited is here as well. Shieldwall. Thank you, Shieldwall, for joining Entertainment Life. Okay. So, and Amber's here as well. How many channel points do I need to redeem a baby cyborg? 1 million.
I'm so waiting. You guys
are waiting for it to work, you know. I've been practicing for a very, very long time. It doesn't work like that, you know.
Oh, really? Old, so very old.
Dang. I
was just starting freshman year of high school.
20 years ago, what was I doing? In middle school. I was in middle school.
Oh god. Yeah. Now I'm really old.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty close. Okay, so let's go to our first topic. Okay, the last time I tried sharing, I froze and had to restart. So let's hope this doesn't happen again.
My hair's all frizzy. Stupid wind. Make it stop.
I think this is it. Yes. Okay. All right. So we have a tweet here. Hi, Blabs. Okay. This is something that MVP talked about it on his stream.
Max got heated about this one on Monday. I can't wait for him.
Max, are you here, by the way?
But he got so heated about this. For those of you who were in the chat on his man cave stream, he was like, "This is not so black and white." No!
Yeah. So this is Evie Magazine says what women want is actually really simple. We want a good, respectful man. We want a guy who's driven, strong, and loving. We want a masculine man.
Check.
Okay. I have to say that, like, yes, I think most women want these qualities in a man, but I don't think it's that simple. I don't know. I didn't watch Max's stream.
So. I mean, oh, there he is.
Hi!
Good timing. I was just telling Extra how you got so mad.
Wait, okay, can I put my thoughts out here for a moment?
Yes, please do. Please
go
do.
On your rant. Okay, so I think that it's like when women or men say, "I want someone who's funny." Okay, funny is different to everyone. It's a definition. What do you define as funny? Some people like dark humor. Some people like slap knee humor. Some people like witty humor. Some people like, I don't know, different types of things. But what does a good, respectful man mean? What is someone who's driven? Driven meaning you have goals that you haven't reached that you want to get, or you've been driven to reach your goals, you're fine. Strong meaning physically strong, mentally strong, all that. I think it's about definitions in this tweet, in this example. So I think that this whole idea of masculinity too, that's another definition. What do you mean by masculine? Right? I want all these, but my idea of what this masculinity means different to other people.
That's true. I think some of it's pretty common though. Like when we say respectful, I think all of us can agree that we know what we mean when we say respectful. Just in general, not even just about men wanting women or vice versa. Like if you are in a room and you see somebody being mean to the waiter, that's not very respectful. You know what I mean? Like I think we can all kind of be like, oh yeah, that's a disrespectful person.
But there's also different levels of respectful too. Like if you see someone else getting like you're in a restaurant and someone's being overtly rude to another person, are you going to say something? Is that what you mean by respect? Are you going to say something to help protect that waiter? Or do you prefer a person who doesn't? I don't know. Yet again, I think the clear thing is definitions in this sense. Wow, Herschel. Okay, the leg that is important is not missing.
It's still there and it works very well.
Very, very well.
I put it to work. I still have no baby cyborgs, so I'm just saying.
We're practicing
through other people's babies
for that moment. Anyways, okay. So I would love to hear. Okay, before we go into Max's rant, because I wasn't there, I want to hear Tugs' thoughts first.
Me?
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty wide, like it's general words. Like we read it as us girls. I think we all read it and went, yeah, that's what I want. But my checklist, yes, those things are things that are on my checklist, but my level of what I think this is different than what your level is what you think it is. I think you're spot on with that.
Right.
It's up to our interpretation. Yeah.
What we think is one thing is different. Yeah. It was just why a lot of people get into arguments online in terms of a lot of stuff, actually. A lot of stuff.
But I think what she meant by it being simple is these are the things if you were to poll people, take 25 people and poll them, what do you want out of a man? And those are all common things. It's simple as in like, yeah, these are things that we all say that we want in a man or a woman. This is the things that we say that we want. So I think, at least to me, that's what she meant by simple. It's very simple. It's this, but it's not simple in the sense that my idea of a driven man is different than what your idea would be, or your idea of a driven woman would be different than what, Johnny might think or what Matt might think, kind of thing. That's where the complexity comes in, but the list is simple. And that's the way I interpreted it. I don't know.
Okay. All right. And now on to the man that
Look at you already. He's like,
Brad, I've heard that you had thoughts.
there were thoughts.
Lots of thoughts.
Well,
Like, stretch it out, get ready.
yeah.
That's what she said.
Well, it's not that bad. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so on my stream the other night, I basically just said, which by the way, thank you guys for coming out. We did a whole membership stream. It was super fun. And essentially I echoed the sentiments that you both have though, which is essentially the terms need to be defined. It's not that simple. And there are things that are left out on here that are much more important to women, in my opinion, from who I've dated in the past and how they define what they want in a man. Because I think she left out terms like what do I say, authentic and genuine. I think that she left that out. She also left out understanding, like a guy who's able to understand where she's coming from. Even if he doesn't understand her fully, he still should, I think, understand where she's coming from and at least understand her thoughts and her feelings, right? Because I think both men and women want to be understood and heard. And she forgot looks. Like, come on. Like, I'm not.
There's a threshold.
Well, but looks are
What
subjective too.
What do you mean?
You know?
There's a threshold that you want for looks to be attracted to physically, because it's like physical and mental attraction.
Yeah. Yes. But my physical attraction are different than your physical attraction.
Which is true, because that's the definition. And I think a lot of women do this, that where they will date men based on their personality as more so than a man. And I'm just doing a comparative. Men will start dating based on physical appearance. Women will too, but women have been known to like men based on, their certain attributes, maybe it's their personality, maybe it's their bank account. I don't know. But that makes a person more attractive.
Well, that's what there was another portion that I was talking about that basically said that, my second kind of off or topic that had been brought up from that tweet was basically that from what I have seen through college and the military and even just kind of living in all these different states around the US, I've noticed there are a lot more beautiful women with really ugly guys, just across the board. And I don't know if it is, like you were saying, X-ray, whether it's like bank account or they're funny. I hear that excuse a lot. Oh, he's just funny. And I'm like, but he looks like a slob, like at least put himself together. A lot of it is kind of what's in their, never mind. What's in,
No, it's true. It's true. I remember this statement that if you're funny, girls' pants drop.
Yeah. I don't, which is why I have no hope, chat. If you're watching, you guys know I'm not that funny.
If that's true, I feel like everybody would be naked at a comedy show.
But like I said, everyone's terms of like funny is different. But think about it. Musicians, they don't have to be good looking.
That's true. Look at Mick Jagger. Look at the women.
Look at Pete Davidson.
All over Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. And I love Steven Tyler. Love Steven Tyler. The women literally throw themselves. There's a clip somewhere from the 60s or the 70s where somebody's literally throwing herself at Mick Jagger. I'm like, Mick Jagger? Really? That one? That's the one you go for? That one?
I think that one has like almost kind of like the Napoleon Dynamite thing where Kip goes, or who was it? It's either Kip or someone but they're like, girls like a guy with like excellent skills. And it's true. Like if a guy can do something, like if he's skilled at like a craft, like carpentry or mechanical, like something like with his hands is very masculine. There's something about that says like, this man can provide. And so if you're a musician, that's still technically a craft, a skill that you have to learn, you have to put a lot of hours into. So I think women see that and they go,
I mean, we women have a soft spot for musicians and like it's a thing. Okay, men in uniform and like with the bad boy band guy, it's a thing. But I couldn't get past. I just couldn't. I can't. Not Mick Jagger, Steven Tyler. Maybe I'd give you, but Mick Jagger, no.
But they're okay. Well, they are not a musician of my time. If I think a musician of my time that is just maybe not as good looking, I'd be like,
oh, no.
Hmm?
Post Malone. That's a good
Oh,
modern.
well, no, he was not a musician of my time, though.
No, but he's a good modern example. The man looks like he got run over by a stamp collection, and then has.
But he's
gold
charming. He's very, in my opinion, I think the guy's
well,
charming.
okay, yeah, he's got a great personality, but I do not want to look at that for the rest of my life. Absolutely not.
That's fair.
Ooh, Ruben brings up a good point. If you want someone, it means you're feeling something missing from yourself. So you need to work on yourself. There are some people who do date with that. They find people that they are missing a certain thing. Maybe they need someone who's stronger or like gives them direction, tells them what to do. I mean, I've seen women in that position personally. So I can see that. I can see that.
I also think that inadvertently or maybe subconsciously, the women that I seek out and vice versa, the one who may seek me out, I think subconsciously look for someone who knows that they are stronger in a certain area. So like maybe my weakness or maybe my faults are this certain characteristic where that woman is strong. Like one of my buddies, when he married his wife, he told me, he was like, where I am weak, where I struggle with things, she's like the best at that stuff. And that's why we work so well, But like what you were saying, X-Ray, there are people who specifically look for that. And that's not necessarily good when you're like, well, I want him to fulfill me because I know I'm not like that can be insecurity or toxicity, but as opposed to just kind of, I don't know. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, no, it totally does. It totally does. I think I've seen it a lot in like people that I know, my friends, I've dated. And it kind of sucks because those types of relationships, you need to let them figure it out for themselves.
Hi,
even though I know it's bad. Hi, Thomas.
Yeah. I don't want to talk over you. This goes into another tweet I sent you, the games one.
It is their loss. Yep. I agree with that too, Ruben. It's true. There, I take this example a lot that we are these human beings that run parallel across each other, all this and that, and sometimes we run very far from each other. And at the time, you're leading more towards him, but they're like, oh, I'm running away. So you have to find that person where you run parallel to each other. And when you have those arguments, are you gonna move with each other, or are you gonna move away from each other?
Yeah.
Well, you have to figure that out.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's really hard sometimes.
Great to see you, Ruben, by the way.
I think the biggest mistake people make is looking for someone to fill that void. Yeah. You have to fill the void. And then you find somebody that complements your void. Not to say that you can't have them and you don't find somebody along the way and your journey of healing and growing and like all that stuff, like that's different. But
I think if you have that void and you fill it with that person, but you can acknowledge both of you that you are helping complement each other, that is different from filling that void.
Yeah, for sure.
That's you working together. Tex, you want to get this? I don't know how to say that.
Eric K for $5. What? Naked comedy show? I am in. Look at Cars singer Rick Ocasek and Paulina Poriskova. Proof ugly musicians can get anyone. I mean, most of the Beatles weren't very attractive.
I know Paulina Poriskova now that you say that.
And who else? Who's another one? Cher. I mean, conventionally, right? She's got a really big nose. Like conventionally, she's not conventionally attractive, but
look at that. What's that guy's name? The freaking goober, Pete Davidson.
Oh God,
he's
annoying as hell.
He's crazy. I think he has like a big.
That's what I think.
And he knows how to use it. And I think he's actually a sweet person as well. But you don't see that.
Ariana Grande talked about his broccoli stem and said it was
broccoli stem.
yeah.
Out of every vegetable.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm trying to
Not
be
his-
obvious
not
with
his
the eggplant
eggplant.
thing.
Yeah.
Also,
eggplant.
it's
like,
His
no,
yam.
that's
His yummy.
we gotta mix things up a little. The eggplant.
Yeah,
Nope,
and
nope,
yummy
not that
just
one.
sounds disgusting.
A big,
think he has a
big,
great
huge personality. Where are my Moulin Rouge fans at? Ewan McGregor. He's got a huge personality. Wait, where this is the one I wanted. I would say that if you want to improve the way you look, then working out is key. Also, workouts for your jawline. Oh, thanks, Mohammed.
Oh, it's true. It's true. There's a look at Max right now. He's like,
I have a pretty good jawline. I think he's good there.
well, Max,
Margin.
I can't see your jawline because you have a beard.
Well, that's what actually helps it out, is because like if you shave like if you shave too high, you make your jawline kind of non-existent. But if you shave a little bit lower, you actually kind of can enhance some of the jawline that you already have. It's like a woman using contour or blush or something
So-
for makeup.
How did you figure that out?
That's just like
curious question.
that's just manscaping 101.
I would say I think the dad probably passed that down.
No, it's just funny because I wouldn't have even thought that. Like, I watch YouTube videos to learn how to contour the face. So maybe it's a man thing.
I can't figure out the contouring.
I mean,
thing.
maybe Mark can speak to this as well. I don't know. Mark's got a fantastic beard. So, but yeah, if you let it grow
Grow the beard.
that's what it is. Yep.
Oh, Ruben, that's so sweet. Correct to not become codependent. You are a team. Be a cower couple.
A cower couple? A cower couple?
Be a cower couple.
Poor X-Ray's been no, I'm slurring.
Nah, I have been
She's
screaming.
been screaming. She has been screaming and streaming for the past like 3 hours. So
Yeah. There's moments that I will say, like Mark and I, we get into our typical fights, but how you and I'm really strong in this. How you figure out your fights is how you know you're going to be a good partner, because everyone can have the good moments, is the bad moments, and how you figure that out is what counts.
Yep.
Not everyone can argue healthily.
Healthily.
Yeah, so you have to be a cower couple by the way you argue.
See, look at this. I love the
Cower
hate that Pete Davidson gets from all the men in the world. They all hate him. Well, not
Oh
all,
my
but-
God. He got a new tattoo. So I was listening to a podcast that he got a new tattoo that I think it's like, I forgot the initials were, but it was like the kids' names. And it's like probably to make Kanye upset. And I mean, like, they always dated not less than a year ago. He's already getting tattoos of the kids' names. That's crazy, in my opinion.
The man falls hard and he falls fast. And I think we've now seen that 3 times.
We thought the same thing.
Yeah, we like a
sculpted, shaped.
sculpted. That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah.
So do you get yours, Max? We're talking about manscaping now. Do you get yours professionally done, or do you do it yourself?
No, I just do it myself. I have had it professionally done before, where they use like a straight razor, and they'll straight razor like the neck. They'll straight razor the outline of like your cheek here, because if it it'll grow up on your cheek. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. It's very old school. It's a lot of money though, and it only lasts like a week because your facial hair grows so quickly. It's just like
so. Back when I actually used to work at the spa, we had a couple men come in, actually got cheek waxing for that reason.
A lot of those guys, like one of my friends who was Armenian in the Marine Corps, he had to shave his face like 2, maybe sometimes even 3 times a day, just depending on, yeah, because like his 5 o'clock shadow would grow in so quickly, and it was so high up onto his face. Yeah, right. It was like midday, and it would start growing back. So yeah, and then especially if you have a uniform regulation that evening or something, like he would have to shave right before that. So some guys just have that gene where it just grows like crazy.
Paul, yes, I agree. Sugaring is better than waxing. I never sugared, so I was only waxing.
What's that? Am I missing something?
It's so it's supposed to be some more natural way to wax. It's like sugar, honey, and I forgot the third ingredient, and you pull the hair off with the green of the hair. But then again, I didn't do it. So.
Oh, as
Versus
opposed
with
to
waxing, you pull like the
Yeah.
opposite of the hair.
Oh, interesting.
But,
yeah,
I
really
might like
cool.
that better.
It's more expensive, but it apparently is better. I've
The
never
natural
had it.
way, the natural, healthy, good for you way is always more expensive. You notice that?
Yeah.
yeah.
The one with all the toxins and chemicals and fake stuff is fine. It was only $1.
Wow,
But
Mark,
if you want
that's
the
not
stuff that's
true.
gonna kill you.
I've never
Oh,
done that to you. I don't know what you're talking about.
still waiting on that baby, Mark. Get
Lasts
on it,
longer and
please.
hurts less. Sounds like something a little dirty.
Martha.
To be fair though, Tugs, like they're probably having so much fun practicing, if you catch my drift. You know what I mean? Like practicing sounds that sounds way more fun than like having to like actually like
Having the
deal with the
actual,
consequence.
yeah.
Yeah.
I am all for practicing until you get it right. Absolutely.
X-ray's like, okay, I'm off camera now.
I'm off camera. Right? Anyways, let's reel back in EV Magazine's tweet. I'm getting really red here. Yeah,
perfect.
I think this is this whole thing is a battle of definitions, as most things are with the internet, as I'm learning.
My camera broke.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I'm pulling it back. Everybody take a drink.
Do you need to pull it out and put it back in?
Again.
Is that how you practice?
Yeah.
No, you have been practicing. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay. So I guess what we could do is pull up our second tweet, because this I guess past 2 weeks has been a little bit controversial. And now I'm not an American, but I know the whole idea of like the abortion has been kind of a little bit of a hot topic with the world today. And I mean, like me coming from healthcare, I'm in the middle of things, and I think it may be more situational on how I feel about this. But another tweet by EV Magazine, they're very controversial. Holy crap. Let's see.
These EV magazines have been like super spicy
Great
these past
content.
like couple weeks. Yeah.
Great content. Don't have sex with anyone you don't want to have a baby with. All right, so dissecting this tweet, there's not much to dissect, but basically meaning if you let's stop pretending sex doesn't have consequences. And it's very true. As women are what do we call this? Gonads? We always call them gonads. Take a long time to produce the egg. It's a very expensive thing to produce, one per month. Males, on the other hand, take milliseconds to produce their, as we have called them in terms of our biological evolution, very cheap. It's very cheap to make one of each.
It's like an assembly line.
Yeah.
They just, yeah.
So with men, evolutionarily wise, you want to spread your seed. Women, you have to be picky with who you mate with. That's why they have this like mating dance that you see in the real animal kingdom. They're pickier. Tags. Are you working? Can we hear you?
I'm on my freaking phone. I have to restart.
Oh, okay. Do you want to stay with this then?
I hate life right now. Anyway. This is the one tweet I wanted to talk about too. Thanks a lot.
Sorry. Timing's horrible.
Computer. No, it's my
Timing
computer. I need a sugar daddy with money so he can buy me a new computer.
Guys, if we start go find me.
Max is like, I can arrange that. Hold on.
I was gonna say, Tugs, X-Ray and I can vamp if you want to like hop off, or if you want to wait until we do bring this tweet back up, and X-Ray and I can vamp on something different if you want to do that.
Oh no.
Or you can be on your phone.
I'm on the phone for now. I'll be back in normal mode in just a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
Andrew Matthews with 5 English pounds. Proper money.
Proper money.
Proper money. Most things in life are simple, but it's the details that are hard. That is so true.
Honestly, modern life, honestly, life is so simple in general. We as a society and as a species, I was just talking to somebody about this today. I was like, us evolving was like the worst mistake ever. It used to be so simple. You were born, you grew up, you were taught, the Bible and values and morals. You got married, you practiced every single day until you had babies, and a lot of them. You had land, which gave food, water, milk, everything, and then you died. Like the end. And now we've got all this drama in between, and it's exhausting.
The difference, I think, okay, so there's multiple reasons why this is more difficult. We live longer,
unfortunately.
People back in like what, 400-500 years ago, we lived up to what, 30-40 years old at most, maybe.
Yeah.
If we were lucky. I think about like even just, like, so I watched The Northman, and when you get a cut, like the idea that you could have an infection, that could be the end of you, the absolute end.
You're done.
You're done at like 20 years old, 16 years old. That really could be the end. Women who were giving birth in fields, the pressures evolutionarily, we've released a lot of it. Primarily, if we look at women with birthing hips, that is not an evolutionary pressure that we have anymore. So that's why we have this explosion of population.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to be more choosy in a sense. But at the same time, I have to say, D-Day Darwolf, you stole this line from me. Blame feminism.
Always. No, but legit.
Blame feminism. And okay, no, I don't argue this because I love this, because now women are concentrated on getting their finish as well. Okay, women like that wasn't a thing where women concentrated on finishing as well, like men, how they finish. Gotcha. Literally.
Gotcha. Right.
Literally. Okay. Oh,
I was like, they're finished, and I was like, oh, all right.
Haha. So I think that was something that came with feminism, which I think is a good thing. It's a great thing. I think that women should be able to explore that.
Yeah. If you're talking about, finishing, because I know initially it was finishing in the workplace, getting the equal opportunity, I guess, as the male counterparts. But in the bedroom, if that's also what you're talking about as well, I think for guys. Oh, I was just going to say.
No, go ahead. I want to hear this.
Yeah, no, I think for guys, it's almost as attractive, if not more so, when we help the finishing process. You know what I mean? Like, it's way more attractive for us if that happens, because then it's like, it's almost like an accomplishment, and it feels like I have provided something for you. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I would, if you're a giving person, I guess.
Yes. But. And I don't know if that's something that, like, now I haven't talked about this with the older generation, like my mother's generation. So it's kind of awkward to talk about that. But, like, is that something that's newer or not? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, that's did this come with feminism? I'm not actually sure.
Yeah.
Men who are older in their 50s, 60s, 70s, I would love to know this. Is this something that you actually were concentrated on doing when you were dating in your 20s to 40s?
What concentrated on what?
Helping a woman finish.
Oh, you're asking the men this question.
Okay. Yes. It's something that, is this something new? I don't know. Did it come with feminism? Because I feel like I've talked about this more as I've gotten older and how to figure yourself out, because every woman is different. It's like finding the lock. Like, how do I do this?
But I think also we were not always that complicated, to be honest with you. I think a lot of it has to do with, especially modern women, our libidos are a lot lower. There's actually studies on this. Our libidos are extremely low compared to what they used to be, because birth control, the pill, whacks out your hormones. It makes you imbalanced. It does all this crazy stuff to your body that nobody ever talks about. Birth control is a big one. Also, all the chemicals and the preservatives that they put in our food now, that's a big one. We're not consuming like animal products. A lot of people aren't consuming animal products anymore. So your vitamins and all that stuff that you're getting from like milk, like animal milk, and we're trying to think that we can get it from like an almond. And so all of that has made it way more complicated than we need to be. You know, I mean, yeah, our body parts are different and all that, and yeah, you got to go digging a smidge. But I truly don't believe that it's been this way the whole time. I don't believe that for 1 second, especially if you're attracted to somebody. Like, it works the same. Okay, you guys are a little bit more obvious, but it works the same. Like, it's a thing. So.
Okay. Charlie says it was more a result of the sexual liberation in the 60s, 70s. Okay. So maybe it's a bit of...
That's a good point. Promiscuity. People weren't that promiscuous back then. That started in the 80s. That was a big late 70s.
Well, if you were promiscuous, that was a like a red flag. Like, if as a woman, you know, the whole idea of virginity being like we want you to stay a virgin, that changed. You know,
I'm kind of with Mila on that one, in that, like, I've heard horror stories about birth control, and if there are male protective, and this isn't me being a simp or being like on the side of feminism, but condoms really aren't a big deal. Like, condoms don't screw with your hormones, they don't jack up your mental or chemical imbalances. It's literally just a form of protection. So, but that's just me from dating women in the past who have had terrible skin reactions to some birth control and hormonal reactions and like all types of different stuff. And it's just like, God, you guys put yourselves through so much crap for what?
For nothing, really.
Yeah. So,
and nowadays, especially we have the little cups that, you know, you don't have to use. You know what I mean? You don't have to go on the pill. There's you guys have condoms, and we have what the heck are they called? Little cups. There's a little, what are they called? Douches that help catch.
Oh,
yeah, it's a whole.
Gotcha. It's a whole thing. I like how you're doing this sign language.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
No, it's a little cup. It's a little cup, and it goes in, and it catches everything, and then you pull it out, and they have one for periods, and they have one for...
I was about to say, I have the other one for periods.
Yeah, there's a period one for periods. I think the next one's called the douche. I think that's what it is. Diaphragm. There it is, diaphragm.
A diaphragm, yes. Thank you. Thank
you,
Paul.
Yes.
Which, by the way, Paul, for $5 says, I'm 54 today. It has always been a priority for me. It is extremely more intense if my partner finishes. A lot of girls are just like fawning right now.
Paul's the man, dude. Hey, and happy birthday, Paul. 54. That's awesome, man.
Happy birthday, Paul.
I wish I had like a clap to play for you. Not as fancy as Gary. And even Ruben here. I will be blunt. A true gentleman knows how to listen to a woman's body, mind, spirit to give them the sexual pleasure and intimacy. Real sex is very mental, and you dance with your partner. Listen. Heck
yes. You guys are always so encouraging.
Yeah, we've got some Chads in the chat.
Chads.
My favorite part about this tweet, though, is that many people were assuming like this was related to the whole thing that's going on with Roe versus Wade and abortion in general, and it really is. It wasn't. It's that simple. It's not even about like that argument. It's about, you're sleeping around, you're promiscuous, you're a Samantha, and that's fine. Do you if you want to. But you stop and look at the men that you're doing these things with, and you're like, do you really want that man to be around for the rest to be a father? Like, that was what this tweet was about, really. It's like, don't sleep with somebody that you can't potentially see any type of future with, because if something happens, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, you will more than likely have this guy around for at least for the next 18 years.
Plus, you're literally stuck to them forever. Especially if you want to raise the child. Like, different if you want to give the child up for abortion, adoption. But it just, you have to know what you put between your legs could last forever.
Yes, and this is Dina Direwolf. A couple people have already brought this up, but I wanted to bring it up too. Purity and virginity is important. Biologically, losing your virginity reduces your pair bonding ability, making it harder to stay in a committed relationship. This is what I think we've lost over the years, is that anytime a man connects with a woman, you're basically giving away a little bit of piece of you. Like, there's a term, don't stick your dick in crazy. There's a reason for that. This act is so intimate and so important to one, creating life, which is so a lot of things. You literally become one person. You know what I mean? You become one. And so like, you have to be careful who you're doing that with, because you lose a little bit of yourself, especially us girls. We lose our emotions every single time. Like that, we love with that.
Love
act.
with
like, that is our way of loving. You know what I mean? It's like it's our way of showing you, like, and so a lot of women, especially being promiscuous, we can't figure out why we can't pick the right man, or we're so irritable, or we're so this, or we're upset and we're heartbroken and all this stuff. And it's like, because we're losing a bit of ourselves every single time we do that, especially when we're doing it with guys that don't care. You know what I mean? You throw away like a tissue. Don't do that. Look, I've embarrassed Max.
Wow, Max already has run away. But no, I do agree with that. And I think when I see kids at like 12, 13, 14 who've already started becoming intimate with their partners, and not even with partners, sometimes it's like a one-off thing. I think that's very sad. I think if you have been dating your boyfriend, girlfriend for a couple months to at least a year at that young teenage age, then I'd say, like, have you at least said I love you? I think that matters more, having that first intimate moment with a person that you actually care about. Because if you don't, I don't know what your views would be. At least as a woman. As a woman. I don't know about a man.
Don't worry, I didn't get scared. I just had to get my front door, so that was all.
Oh, okay, good. I was like,
no. I heard you in my headphones, and I was like, oh gosh, no, I should have prefaced that. But
I don't know. What are your thoughts about that?
I was just going to say that this is very much reminiscent of what you see in the military a lot of times. And I think we talked about this, or spoke at least maybe briefly about it in y'all's last stream last week, which was the whole dependopotamuses thing, and the, concern that these young Marines, and well, in my case, Marines, because that's what branch I was in, have this like newfound confidence. They're the best thing, they're 18, 19, fresh out of high school. They got like this sweet uniform. They look good. They're feeling themselves. They go out into the town and find like whatever, piece of whatever they can find. And the woman pulls a leg lock on them.
Yep. The leg lock. Yeah.
And sure enough, you're left with some kids. And so
it's funny, because then you this is the twist on the male versus female, because I mean, like, you hear a lot about on the female, at least for me, the female perspective, that the males get locked into a relationship based on having a baby, and now they're stuck 18 plus years having to care of baby and baby mama.
Yeah. And she gets to be on the government toll or dole or whatever, and she gets a great sweet little kind of pension, because you do get a bump in your pay each month for your housing, for your allowance for food, and your salary and everything, if you're married or if you have dependents or whatever. It's not a huge bump, but it's still there. And so a lot of these young kids think like, yeah, sure, why not? And then
they don't realize what they're getting themselves into in the long term. And I think that's the problem, is a lot of humans, especially now, we're into this idea of instant gratification. So you think, oh my God, this is amazing, beautiful, and I could see myself living with you forever because I have this feeling of love and adoration, or lust, because that's the thing. A lot of us think lust is love, especially in our youth.
Yeah. And that was just, the male kind of perspective. As far as the female perspective, and I can't obviously speak too much to that, because I will not try and mansplain, be the toxic male that I am. But I would say that, yeah, you guys definitely tend to love with your parts. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And when that happens, even if he's an asshole, that bond is still there. There's a great comedy sketch by Nikki Glazer, and I think it's on Netflix, but she
Yeah.
talks about how, like, the first time she was with this guy, he's got this dumb necklace and it keeps hitting her in the face or whatever as they're like, you know,
Yeah.
together in the bedroom. And she's like, I hate this guy, I want him off me. And then, like, after he left, she was like, I miss his necklace already. You know, and I was like, yeah, that can happen sometimes.
Well,
you know?
and like you look at people who break up, get back together, break up, get back together, and they keep coming back, because in the moment that you're away from each other, however many weeks, months, days it is, you forget all the bad stuff. And how I relate to this is people in toxic relationships, whether it be physical, mental, whatever it is, that's why they keep going back. They're like, oh my God, but I miss the companionship. I miss them cuddling me. Is that worth all the bad stuff, though? And I think that a lot of people forget when they're away from the person that causes the negative aspects of the relationship. And then you remember, oh yeah, this is why we're going to break up again. Yeah. And it's a really hard cycle to break.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a part of it. I don't know if you guys have, but like, I think a lot of people can relate, whether it's themselves or someone they've seen through it.
Where did it go?
Yeah. I'll let you look.
Women at the core of humanity are blessed with being the cradle of creation. Our love brings life within her, and it's like peering deep into the beauty of the universe that's rooted in love. Wow,
Ruben, words. Holy crap.
Jeez.
There's another one he put. Lust lasts moment. Love is eternal.
Yes. And that's why I think like there's this idea, and I have a couple of friends, and I follow a couple of people on Instagram who, you know, have always waited until marriage. And there's some people who were promiscuous. There's a girl I follow. She was super promiscuous and just kind of did her thing or whatever. And she kind of realized like, this is not what I wanted for my life. Like, what am I doing? And she decided that's stopping, and I will not do that again until I get married. And that was how she was able to, for herself, figure out the difference between lust and love, and like what real love looks like, because real love will wait for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now she's married, and this guy is like a gem. I adore him. But it's just this, it's crazy because we love like that so easily. Us women are like, yeah, he'll like me if I do this. And that's like, that's not love. That's not real love. You know, that's just, it's in the moment. It's exactly what Ruben was saying. It's in the moment. Sometimes it's only 30 seconds. I mean, it just depends, but either way.
And a lot of people, and I find this happens a lot, listens to words, but words are not actions.
Yeah.
You know, you can always say, I'm sorry, and blah, 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 I'll change. But will the change actually happen?
Now, let me ask you guys this then, because yeah.
Wow, you guys got a whole 8 seconds? Wow.
Are you guys as?
Where's as when we need him? Yeah. two pump chump.
There's an extra 30. There's an extra 8 seconds. Yeah, exactly. See? And look at his marriage now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love Tim Tebow. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
So yeah, I'll ask you guys this, because this brings up another conversation. Let me know if we get off too much off the rails. I don't want to. I don't know what topics you guys have, but you brought up love versus lust. But what do you guys think love is at its core? Because for me, you know, I used to kind of have this infatuation of the ideal of love. You know, it's like this beautiful, the room stops and I see the person across the room, and that's my partner. And now, like, as I'm getting to almost be 30, my expectations are much more realistic. I have to, you know, that most likely isn't going to happen, but I'm also very cynical about that stuff. So what do you guys think as, you know, two beautiful women who have lived, you know, a good portion of your life dating and being with different guys and different girls? and their examples of love. Because I think everyone's definition of that might be different.
I'm gonna let the married one take
I
this.
was gonna I was like, Tess, you want to go first?
And I'm
Okay.
gonna take notes while she's
Definition
talking,
of
and then I
love.
want to hear yours, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
take notes there. And somewhere there's gonna be a middle ground.
Okay. So love is ever evolving. There's not one stagnant definition of love. Okay. One thing that young love in an early relationship, yes, you have a bit of lust. There's stuff that I look for when I first start dating a person. My red flags, as I call them: kids, religion, location. Those are my 3 big red flags. Do you want to live where I want to live? Do you want to have kids or not? Do you have a religion that might not work? Now, I've dated a bunch of people that have conflicted with those 3. So I've learned my lesson. So that's the first thing. So I might fall in love with you based on those little things and the things I get to know about you that I find endearing, enthralling, all those things, like the drive you have for your work. With Mark specifically, if we're going to go with driven, that definition, he's driven by gaming, in the sense that it's not just gaming. He's changed it to something that's more than just the actual physicality of gaming. He does reviews. That's his passion. I think that's like maybe my version of being a musician. Okay. On top of that, he never stops. He wants to keep moving forward. He wanted to move to Toronto, made his goals, all those little things. Like, that's a driven person, and I'm attracted to those qualities. Those types of qualities I'm attracted to, and I fall in love with. Now, I think the thing that I look with, keeping the love, physically, sure, we got that part, that's great, but I say the whole idea of arguments, conflict, and resolution. How do we make sure that we have a healthy relationship without the toxicity? Is that we maintain good communication. I think that's the one key thing that I truly appreciate about my relationship, is that we try to communicate. We try to understand. When he gets upset, I'm like, I'm not upset at you, that I'm just pointing something out, or vice versa. Like, we try to make sure we have this constant over communication, because I've seen so many relationships, myself and other friends, where it's broken down. And that's where I think you have animosity, and where the love really gets hurt, is when you don't have great communication in a long-term relationship. After 2 years, it's really hard to maintain a consistent love. It's not that lustful love that you had at the beginning. I think it's really important.
Romantic,
no,
like
the Disney
dog.
love. It's not the Disney love.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to do all the besides the physical stuff. Yes, we got that down. We're talking about the actual core stuff that makes you bond beyond all that. So that's what I think love is for me. And yes, he supports me. And vice versa. Like, I guess that's kind of what I was trying to insinuate, that like I support him, he supports me. So it's, very equal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you said about his with his video games, because though his career path is that of protecting and serving, he also has other passions, and it just speaks to his character, because most guys would just say, yeah, I just, I play video games, like whatever. But Mark probably has a passion for it, to where it's much more than that to him. Like, I remember I was telling one of my exes while we were dating years ago, that Lord of the Rings was my favorite movie. They were my favorite movies. And she's like, oh, well, that's cool. Like, they're just like fun action. And I was like, no, these changed my life. Like, these gave me an ideal of what a moralistic, noble male character looks like. And I wanted to emulate that. And because it was told in a story that was so far away from this earth, I could be in that escapist mindset. And like, I was telling her all this stuff, and it was just, and I think I see that with Mark too. There's so much more than just, oh, this is just a video game. There's so much depth to that, and passion in that. And you see that, and that's probably what makes that thing attractive. Not just, oh, I play video games, or oh, I watch movies. There's a lot more depth, as opposed to just surface level, and I think that is attractive to people. Maybe not, maybe one of the reasons why you love him, but not the main reason why you love him. Like you said, it's the communication, it's the both supporting each other. It's like that whole aspect of all these things kind of coming together into one after multiple years of doing that, constantly doing that. So.
And I think another big thing that I see a lot of relationships that succeed is that you're actually interested in each other's hobbies, or you support those hobbies, even if you're not interested in it.
Yeah.
You don't put each other down. And I think that's the hard thing some people do. And that's where the lack of respect comes in.
Oh, yeah. If someone doesn't respect you later, like there's no question.
Funny thing, some people don't see certain things people do to each other as disrespect.
Yeah.
Right?
I have been blinded by looks, and she despised me. And I was like, it's okay, I'll just fucking take it,
Oh my
because
God.
I was just like infatuated with
you. I have so many questions.
But like everyone has been in that position, whether it be the person that disrespects or has been disrespected. Like we can just go with the idea, the poor wife who's been physically hurt, right? You ask why she goes back, because in my mind, she doesn't respect herself enough to know that she'll be strong without him.
It might also be because she's familiar with it and she's scared of what.
Comfortable.
But that's the thing. She doesn't give herself the amount of respect in order to make sure she's strong enough for that.
I mean,
because go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I mean, my longest relationship years and years ago, I knew we were not good. I knew we were not good for each other. I knew he was not it. And I knew that. But I stayed because what else am I going to get? I don't deserve anything better. There's nothing better out there. This big city ain't all it's cracked up to be, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I had someone and it was fine. It was not fine and didn't end fine. And it was just a bunch of crap, but I stayed because there was nothing better out there. That's not true. There was something better out there, but that wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. That was for other girls who are taller and prettier and more confident and all this stuff. This is the best I can get. And I'm lucky that he wants me. That was what my attitude with it was. Coming from somebody who's been there.
Yeah. And it's oh, go ahead. Actually.
Oh, well, I was going to say maybe my version of self-respect is comfortability for other people. Maybe I'll go with that. Yeah.
Well, and I didn't have any self-respect, but it ties into it. I didn't have any self-respect because even though I knew he garbage, lazy. Anyway, I look back at it, I'm like, God, but that was at the time. I didn't think I deserved anything else. I didn't deserve the guy that you see on the street with this girl and he opens the door for her and all this. Like, who does that? Men don't open doors for women. I had no clue. You know what I mean? This is all I can get. It's fine. It's cool. He doesn't come home till 6 o'clock in the morning. It's fine. He's working. But I didn't have the self-respect to leave either because I thought that was the best I could do. And that's a trap that I think a lot of us have fallen into. Not just women, mostly women, but men too.
That's why I say when you look at the people who are the physical aspect in terms of people who are disrespectful in that nature, there's people who there are other things that aren't as easily seen that you see between partners, right? The physical is easily seen, bruises, that sort of stuff, cuts and all that. But, when you're not verbally respectful to each other, the 6 a.m. thing, people who go out till like all ends of the night, I don't think that's respectful. I mean, you can do that, just communicate it, right?
Look at oh crap! Now I'm gonna forget his name. And it wasn't even like it was like a month ago. Mike and Jimena. Mike and Jimena.
Oh, Jimena went out till all hours of the night.
Yeah.
She was out just partying and probably doing drugs. And then she'd come home and she's got 2 freaking kids. She'd come home at 10 in the morning or something. And he'd be like, where have you been? I've been like working and I've been taking care of the kids all day. She's like, I'm just tired. And because they like there was that language barrier, they couldn't communicate any of that stuff, But God, that show, I still think about it.
There's more that's out. 90 Day Fiance, new season. I think 5 episodes in now.
But I kept this up this long because I find it very interesting that, and this has been everybody, 1, 2, and a bunch of people in the chat, communication with argument. Communication is not just about in an argument. Fun fact. It's the little things. Like my ex, for instance, they would work. So he worked for a company that did like the shows, the concerts and stuff here in Vegas. So the earliest they would get out after shutting down the bars and stuff was about 12:30 in the morning. That was the end of their shift. So they would go out and have beers and party and have fun to wind down. Totally get it. The difference is I never got a message that said, hey, the boys and I are going to stay out late, or hey, I'm completely drunk. I don't want to wake you. I'm staying the night at this person's house, at my buddy's house. There was no communication there. There's no communication when you're in the talking phase and you're in the middle of a conversation and all of a sudden you don't hear from them for hours and hours. And they're like, oh, LOL, sorry, I fell asleep. Hey, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. It's literally that simple. And this goes both ways on both ends. Communication is not just about when you're in a fight. Communication is all across the board. You go from talking all day and maybe you don't hear from them. I'm busy at work. I'll get back to you later. Love you, babe. Whatever it is. Little things like that. Hey, work ran late. Gonna be late. Don't wait up. Or, hey, I'm going out with the boys. Work was crap. Don't wait up. Kind of thing. Little. And this goes for us girls too. The games are dumb. Like, stop. But everybody, it's just funny to me. Like, an observation I noticed was everybody just automatically connects it to arguing. It is not just about arguing. Like, there's so many things that you can do to talk to each other in the little everyday things that add up and help make their relationship flourish, because you guys are, hey, I'm doing this. Hey, I'm doing that. Hey, I don't want to do this. Or, hey, I don't like it when you do that, whatever. So yeah. I just thought it was interesting. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we go too far, Dawn for $20 says, it depends on the couple. I think my best friend and her husband, she supported him when he was getting his ministry degree. He supported her when she was getting her MBA with 2 small boys to raise. That's respectful.
Yes, I agree.
Nice.
That's working together.
Yep.
For the future. Yep. I got a lot of respect for that. Thank you, Dawn.
Power couple.
And it's Chewy for $5 says, Houston, Texas in the house. Sup, Max and the hotties at our Extra Girl and Miss Sexy in Tugs.
Thanks, Chewy.
What's up, Chewy?
What's up, Chewy? But yeah, it's been interesting. I love talking about relationships. It's been something that I've been like, I guess, very passionate about ever since when I was 29, 3 years ago, when my long-term relationship kind of, became not a relationship, and trying to figure out what makes a healthy relationship. There are so many things that go into it. And I think that, it's ebbs and flows. Like, we're going to go, this whole feminist movement brought on sexual liberation. And now it's almost been too much. And now we're almost drawing it back at this point.
Well, yeah, you saw because we were talking about this earlier in the stream, like in the 70s, like when you saw Woodstock happening, and like Woodstock, that festival was just a big orgy. Like people were just having sex just everywhere. Like, because it was just, it's the equivalency of what, those EDC or what's going on right now in like the Palm Springs area, Palm Desert, Coachella, stuff like that. Like that whole
Burning Man.
Phase is kind of like our modern Woodstock. And it's this, it's like this freeing empowerment, whatever. But then the second any guy is like, hey, you're really good looking, it's like, you are objectifying me. It's like, God, make up your mind. Which one is it? Are you empowered because of your freedom, or are you objectified because you have your tits out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very frustrating and upsetting. And that's kind of this whole like third wave feminism thing that's been going on.
You know what it is? They only think it's cute when they like you. Then if they don't like you, it's objectifying.
If you're good looking, you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Yes, no, it's true though.
If you're not, it's seen as like creepy or objectifying or offensive. But like the second you're good looking, it's like you can get away with a lot of stuff. It's really weird how that works.
Hi, Disparu. Cappy's
He's telling Cappy to go to sleep.
That is like
Time
Cappy's
to bed. This is
tagline.
adult conversations. Cappy, go to bed.
Oh my god.
What's up, Disparu?
Which I guess brings us to our next tweet. Thank you, Togs, who, by the way, found all these tweets.
Oh boy, of course.
Maybe Magazine is my favorite, just like drama right now.
We live in a world where whoever cares less wins, and we say it's time to reject that mindset entirely.
Stop playing games. And we all know what this means, where whoever cares less. It's that, oh, I don't care. We're in the talking phase. I don't care. We're gonna wait 3 days to talk to each other. I don't care.
It's playing games. That
hate
idea of
it.
playing games.
If you like somebody, tell them, like, hey, I like you. Do you like me back? No, cool. Bye. Yes, excellent. Let's go on a date. Let's get to know each other better. Let's do this. If we're not in the same city, we can continue to text and get to know each other better.
If that is what the mindset is for what both of them want, you know what I mean? Which is, still, I think that honesty, that communication is good, because if I'm interested in someone who isn't in, if she's still in her hoe phase or whatever, and I'm not, or vice versa, whoever is communicating that it's easier for them to then split up at that point, because if she's in her hoe phase and I'm like looking for someone to, settle down with, and I go, hey, I really like you. And she has the courtesy to say, that's not really what I'm looking for. Cool. After a week, you guys are gone and there's no real heartbreak after that. You guys can continue to move forward. But if it's like this drawn out game where will they, won't they, and this constant battle for, all right, are they going to text me today? Or like, it's just, it's very frustrating, but it is something that happens, I think, just with younger people. I don't know why that is, but
I think, okay, so I remember this idea that men and women, if they're looking for, and yes, Sarah, I agree with that. A little self-respect goes a long way. I remember talking to my friend where both sexes love the idea of thinking it's a relationship, and as soon as you think that it's going to be a one-time thing, it loses its embellishment. All that fun to get into the pants. And I think both people do think that.
There is an excitement to the hunt, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you should never stop hunting. Like, even if my whole thing is like, yeah, there's the thrill of the chase and all those old school sayings. But just because you get the girl doesn't mean you should stop hunting the girl.
Like even if the person
that
only
girl though,
wants
not all the other girls,
hook up, that they enjoy it when they feel like they're looking for a relationship, even though it's just to hook up.
Oh yeah. I
think there's that game. They love playing that game, like, because it's more fun in that sense.
Exactly, Mila. Well, the hunter thing is more the man's. That's more of the man's side, like the peacocks with the feathers kind of thing. That's more it tends to be more on the guy's side. But I just, if you're taking 8 hours to respond to me, or a few hours to respond, or you're not initiating, I'm the only one initiating conversation, et cetera, then you know what? I'm just going to take that as you're not interested, and I'm going to move on. I hate games. I hate it. And I am somebody just in general, like I do this with you guys all the time. I text back right away. I'll text paragraphs and respond to you unless I'm like actually busy. But I respond quickly. And if I like you, you're done for. Like, put your phone on mute, because memes and funny stuff like, hey, how was your day? Hope you have a good night. This and that and the other. I do that with my friends. I do that with men I'm interested in. I do that. Like, I don't believe in any of that. And I'll flat out tell you, hey, I think you're cute. Or, hey, I am interested in you. But if you're
all the time,
that's only doing like the 3 days, the waiting the 3 days and all that, no, I can't. I hate that.
What is this? Have you heard of the 36 questions
let me
to
go.
fall in love? It is interesting to look into, basically getting the games out of the way. We may have to keep this for a future stream, depending, because that 36 is a lot.
Wait, is it the one from the New York Times, Ruben, or is it the one from... There's 36 questions that lead to love and 36 questions to fall in love. Or maybe it's the same thing.
Dermy.
Oh, I found it.
Dermy, I think the weird part about that, women refuse to respond. I've tried the hunt and I just get nothing. Drop them, but I think that's part of the game. So here's the weird part. It's the hard to get, right? It's the, because if I'm a guy and I cast out a net, or I cast out a fishing line, and I get a bite and I respond back, but then I step back for like 3 days and then I text back again. There's this kind of like the person that I'm pursuing or hunting has this feeling like of like, oh, well, they almost kind of want you more in a way, which is weird. This is in a more immature type of relationship. Granted, I'm not saying this is how a relationship should go, but it's that kind of. I mentioned it the phrase earlier, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that kind of sentiment of, if a guy texts you and he doesn't text back or something, initially you're kind of wondering, oh, well, maybe I should pursue him a little bit more, and that's like kind of the game. So
I think
in younger relationships, I guess.
Scarcity mindset.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Darwolf puts it in good terms. So back before cell phones existed and texting existed, what did we have? Snail mail, phone calls, and dropping by people's houses. We didn't have this every 10 minutes, 5 minutes. We were able to message people. So I think that it's a lot different dating today versus back in the day. And the scarcity mindset, it's the chase. Absolutely the chase. We want to be chased. And then we also don't want them to be also absolutely in love with you unless you're absolutely in love with each other. It's the whole paths thing. Are we on the same path? Oh, sorry, you're scaring me a little too much. So you move away and then all of a sudden we're back together.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate it. I will do, if we're talking consistently and all of a sudden you drop off, I might reach out to you once just to be like, let's test this, and then you're done. But that's it, because it's over. And anytime you reach out to a girl like that and she's ignoring you blatantly, drop her off. And then if she actually is interested in you, she's playing those games, and she'll come back and be like, oh, I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on? Drop her anyway. I'm so done. As a single woman, it's so annoying. I hate it. I hate it.
To hang out, you just knock on the door.
Yeah, you just run over. I'm going to JoJo's house. Bye.
Yeah.
Hi, is Johnny home? Can Johnny come out and play?
My little
the good old days.
Yeah. Good old days. It's because when you put out those games and you do that, well, I'm not going to respond to her for 3 days because some movie somewhere told me to, or whatever. Like, that's the rule. No. And you do that, and then she plays the game back. It's just this constant tug of war where nobody wins, because ultimately one of you is going to get fed up with it, and then you potentially lost out on something good. If you guys had a connection and stuff, you lost out on something good because you couldn't be woman enough or man enough to just be like, hey, I like you, let's go out. And to me, the chase, the hunt is not just about, well, let's play these little mind games. It's about, it's the whole relationship is a chase back and forth. We figure things out about each other. We do things that we like. We've been seeing each other for a week, but I'm busy tonight. I miss her, or, oh, I miss him. Gosh, I haven't seen her in 3 days, and now I'm sad, because of work or whatever. It's just, that's the chase. It's not an actual chase, at least to me. It's that feeling of, oh my gosh, this person like wants to be around me, and we kind of do this dance, this romantic dance. But the games part of it is just, it's ridiculous. And if you got girls, if you are messaging girls and they're not responding to you, move on. There's 7 billion people on this planet. Go find another one. Somebody will respond to you. Don't be creepy, but don't do that.
social cues are huge. If you don't get a response, you got to take the social cue. And even in my youth, I've thought, well, maybe she wants me to pursue her more. No. Take a step back. Like if she's not responding, do not continue to try and, puppy dog and kowtow to that. She probably most likely is trying to separate or ghost or whatever. But I have pursued, and I think that is what a woman wants to see from a man who is an actual someone who they would want to see themselves with in the future. They want a man to pursue them, to show them that they can be pursued and that they want to be pursued, or in other words, desired. And when you do that, even if she doesn't respond back, you can at least walk away from that relationship or that date or that whatever and be confident in yourself and be like, I pursued the hell out of this woman, even though she didn't feel the same way for me. I know that I gave 100% of myself into that relationship. And then you can do it to the next woman who is going to appreciate it. But if you never put yourself out there and communicate that and try and pursue someone to the fullest of your extent, then, if you hold back, then you're always going to wish what could have happened. But if you pursue and communicate and to a healthy extent, I think there's something good there and your intentions will be very clear. Once you start pursuing though, and you get the kickback or you get the separation or you get the brakes put on, then yeah, you need to stop pursuing and understand that there's that self-reflection. So it is a dance. I think Ruben said earlier, there's a dance, not just physically, but emotionally and relationally. But
this too, Mila, this is also the chase, right? What's the end goal for most men? I think we all can agree. So if you give it up too early, that may lose his interest. If you give it up too late, also may lose his interest. But that's the fun of the chase. Can I get this woman? Can I take her home? And the answer is maybe. And it's maybe until the day you die, even if you get married.
To you.
That's a fun game to play. Maybe if you can catch me, come catch me. Okay. You know what I mean? That's the chase. That to me is what we mean by the hunt and the chase, the end goal. To me, the end goal is, like marriage and that for the rest of our lives. But that's the end goal for most men, I think, is like, can I see this woman without clothes on? Yes, I can. And then she's like, maybe. That's the chase. It's not texting back 3 days later. It's not ignoring me for 24 hours. Like, oh, well, I fell asleep. Oh, sorry. It's no. That is the chase.
Because that's let me ask you guys this then. Can guys or can women be on the hunt? And do you think that's attractive for guys, for women to start conversations and go up to you at a bar and go, what's going on, hot stuff? Let me buy you a drink, Like, is that something that is...
I was about to say, with the Me Too movement, I think men have been scared to do a lot in terms of being forward.
Yep.
So I think they prefer it because then they don't get Me Too'd.
Oh, prefer it? Really?
Some people have heard that they get scared because if you pretend, or not pretend at this rate, show interest, they're like, how dare you? Or
yeah, that's no, you're not. That's very accurate. That is very accurate.
Yeah.
Of like, even if it's as simple as like, hey, how's it going? What's your name? Can I get you a drink?
Oh my God, I'm here with my girlfriends. How dare you approach me?
I have a boyfriend.
Read the room.
Or I've gotten, hey, can you tell me where the bathroom is? I have a boyfriend. Okay.
Oh my God, I've done that. I'm not gonna lie.
But where's the bathroom?
Thanks. I still need to shit though. So can you just tell me where the bathroom is? No.
I think there's a line. I think it's really cute, and I've done this. It ultimately ended up not going anywhere, but there was cute guy at the bar, and so it was my turn to buy the next round of drinks for the ladies, and I stood next to him specifically and ordered our drinks, and I was like, and I'd like to buy one for the stud holding up the wall, kind of thing, like this stud holding up the wall, and he was kind of like, isn't that my job? And I was like, you look thirsty. I don't know. Here, but and that was like our opener, and it was just this cute little meet cute. But then me making that line, making that stupid joke, kind of thing. He got his beer, and we got our drinks, and I go back. That put the ball in his court to see if he wanted to continue that chase, that pursuit, let's see where this goes. And he did. He came over, we played pool and hung out. Didn't ultimately click right, but hey, you know what? The shot was shot on both ends, and it benefited in whatever way it benefited. But yeah, it was fun. But that puts the ball in his court. So I think there's a line. I think if she's constantly doing what a lot of women think a lot of men do, and look, we've all been in the club scene. We know how men can get, certain men can get, and they get pretty like puppy dog, follow you around, and you're just like, get away from me, kind of thing. And women, I think if women were to do that, it's not attractive at all. It's not attractive as in general, but that makes it a little bit more masculine. And masculine energy is only attractive for so long, if not at all, coming from a girl. So, but if you put it in their court and say, just kind of, you come up to them and be like, oh, hey, you know, like you're playing pool, you walk up to a guy and you're like, oh, can I have you chalk my stick? And he puts the chalk on the stick and you just thanks and walk away. That puts the ball in his court. That goes, oh,
the opening.
It's an opening. Okay, I can talk to this one. I can play with this one. She's okay. She's cool. She's not going to tell me to F off. You know what I mean? Like there's a line, I think. Yeah. I have good fishing lines. Oh, is this stud holding up the wall?
I was gonna say if you were like, he looks thirsty because I'm pretty thirsty too. Just take a drink of your other.
Well, I'm gonna put that down.
Look at that. MVP giving Tug some lines here.
I love it.
But yeah, I mean, you can also get scammed. So my boys, my brothers in Christ, you know what I mean?
Be careful.
Keep your head on a swivel, because that same woman who's like, hey, you want to chalk my stick? I'll chalk yours too. And you know, or something. They will take your drink and they will go, thanks, and then just walk away.
And
then we'll
you
never
know what?
talk
No,
to
I'm going to give you a little tip on that. If you're at, so most pool tables are at like chill bars, right? Your PTs, pubs, your local holes in the walls,
Sports
whatever,
bars,
like the sports bars, right? If a girl comes up to you and says that, and she is dressed in a dress that's about this big and her heels are about this big, you're getting scammed. If she walks up to you and she's dressed kind of like I am, or like super comfortable, maybe a heel and some jeans, like the more casual, more like you fit into this bar sort of scenario. She's like, hey, can you chalk my stick? That's legit. That's your watch out for those stilettos, boys. I'm telling you. That's a big indicator, depending on the environment. Just a little tip for you all. Throwing it out there.
It's Chewy for $5. Says, before I go, be on the lookout for Houston Sports Show this weekend. Lauren Leal will be back on TV, and gosh, she is one of my crushes. I know, Chewy. She's like top crush, I think.
Lauren who?
I think he's tagged me. Lauren Leal.
She's a radio or a sports show host.
I would love to go through this article because I've seen it.
Yes, and then there's the Tinder swindler for the man's side of things. So to know you men are always like, yeah, pay back for the women, but that guy should be in jail or extortion. And so should these women.
It's not just a gender role that takes.
There's a lot of stories not of girls like when you're broke, like you're broke colleges. We've all been there. We're like in between. We're fresh out of high school or we're fresh out of college, moving on. We can barely afford ramen, that kind of thing. And they would go on dates and get free food. And I'm like, that's terrible. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, but I get food for the next 2 days and it works. I'm like, oh my God.
Yep. I've known people who do that, especially in university. They line up Monday, Tuesday, like literally the whole week.
Which day is it? Oh, this is the Wednesday guy. Oh, okay.
Wow. Front porch. The higher the heel, the greater the what? Yeah, the
higher the heel, the greater the high maintenance is. How about that?
Well, that and inverse relationship. The higher the heel, the less likely, at least at a club.
Yes. Oh my God. The club scene is, I feel like, look, I think we all at this point, and I'm going to drop some knowledge on you babies. If you're at the club, a nightclub, just automatically assume all those girls are out for free stuff. Okay. And just go with it. Yeah. That's the scene. We're here for free drinks. We're not here. It's like, leave me alone. That's why we're there. And we all dress that way. That's a different story. But if you're at like a sports bar and you see the girl in the stilettos and the tight dress, run.
Yeah. Don't be a shark. No back attacks, okay? Yeah, ask a girl to dance. Don't just grab onto her.
Or the country bar. My favorite is
MVP. Have you done that?
Oh, Max!
We've already gone over this. This is like the third time I mentioned this.
I have to relive this.
Every time our reaction's going to be the same. Every single time.
I'm sorry I have to give you PTSD from the last time we spoke about this, but yes, of course, that is something I've done. The back attack is real.
It is real. It is
It
real.
is
I
Guys-
remember talking to my friend.
Yeah, guys think that that's like the
move.
way. Yeah, the move.
You
Do
go until you
want
find
to
one.
explain it? Do you guys want to explain it for the new people in our chat?
Okay,
Back
so do you want me to do it or Max? Do you want to do it?
Yours is more fun. I like when you do it.
Okay.
But
So you go to the club, and there's these guys who, throughout the night, you can see them literally go up to all these different girls. They will grab onto them from behind. You know, some girls will be like, Some girls will accept it for a little while, then turn around and be like, and then way into the night, when they're really drunk, that's when they really successfully lash on.
Yeah.
You know, you've been trying to catch your prey, and then, then
and you've been fine. You know, you've been feeling out. All right.
Yeah.
This group
This
of
girl-
girls, they're
No.
the birthday crowd. You know, or yeah, this one, no, they're just with the girls. They just want to have fun, whatever. This is it's someone's birthday. They're a little bit more wild. You know, this is the bachelorette party.
Yep.
Sorry,
And
you keep
find
going.
The girl that when you lock on, she's not going to care who you are. And all of a sudden, she's turned around, making out with you. She don't even know what you look like, but you scored that makeout and maybe more. And that's why I call it the back attack, because they literally attack every girl until they catch their prey.
And they always come up behind you and you're like,
Well, when you're sober enough to
little
realize
jump,
what's going
you're
on.
like, what is that? And we all do the same jump. It's always this like one arm sort
Who
of
are
like,
you? Why are you talking to me? Which is funny because Tugs, when we first met physically, she would slap my butt, and
I do that. Yeah,
exactly.
You're in trouble. We've gotten to know each other more, which I know I did this to you when we didn't really know each other more. But now I know you much better. So you in Vegas and or Dallas, depending on where we go in Dallas or in Texas, I will as I walk by. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So I guess Tugs is doing a back attack in sorts.
Yeah.
It's just more
Tugs
of
is
like
getting her back attack
I see you.
revenge.
Hi, I see you. I do it with my girlfriends all the time.
No, she does.
I see you.
She does.
D-Day O says, I saw you slap her ass in Boston. I thought he
Oh, yeah.
was trying to say, yeah.
No, not that.
No. I was like,
It's nothing. It's not even.
Don't-
Well, I mean,
don't me too.
it's
It's
a love tap. It's a love tap.
But it's more like a. It's not like a. It's more of like a. I see you. You know, you walk by, like when you walk behind somebody, you like kind of like.
Oh my God, it's like the guys before a football game.
Yeah, that little boop on the butt. Yeah, that's what it is. And anybody
guys,
who doesn't
I had
like
a
it,
bruise
you
for a
can tell
week.
me. Yeah, he was. That was the other. Never mind.
We were also very, 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 very drunk.
That's true. It is. See, it's the silkies. That's what
Were you wearing silkies in Vegas? I don't even remember.
No, I was wearing joggers, which are even better.
I actually don't remember
Really
what you were wearing. Actually, no, you wore like
pants.
I do remember the joggers and a black shirt, I think, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a picture.
There's a picture. I have the video that I put up and everything. So I'll most likely just wear the same thing, if not something very similar this year. It's just classic. But I will bring for the pool my comic book shirt, the button down comic book shirt and some silkies.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I think that'll be
Maybe
a good
I'll get to the
pool
pool this year.
Yeah,
Yes.
you didn't make the pool last year.
No,
Krista
I
and
did
I had to
not.
go by ourselves.
No.
So sad.
We're gonna go to the pool this year. I hope.
Yes, we are. We're gonna get mojitos by the pool and just sun, everything. That's what we're doing.
My white balance and ISO balance on this camera still doesn't it always makes it look like I'm a tomato, but it's just I've been out in the sun, so it always just.
No, you look so tan. Holy
You do
crap.
look really tan compared to me, especially. Like, look how white I look because the stupid lighting.
I've been on vacation. I look whiter than you. That's not fair.
That's not true. Oh, him, yeah.
Yeah, to him.
Yeah, she's been in Mexico.
Let me see if I can fix this. maybe I can make it look like I'm more tan.
From Porch Conservative says, poor Max, being attacked by two good-looking women. We all feel so sorry for you. No, but in all seriousness, if it's something that is not comfortable, you just let me know, and I'll stop.
Okay. Oh, I don't care at all. Yeah, you guys are totally fine. And hey, the extra girl was like legit assaulting people by picking them up and trying to.
Oh, that was not assault. We agreed on that I would pick them up.
I don't.
That's
think
your version of a back attack. You came up behind people and were back attacking them by picking them up.
You were behind, was it?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, it was because it would be really weird from the front. You're right.
And I'm pretty sure Jay never actually fully said, yes, you can. I think he opened his mouth and made like a squeaky noise. And you were like, okay.
Consent. Yeah.
It's the best.
All right, guys.
You're like, anyway, next topic.
Next topic.
Wow. That was not in Vegas. That was in Boston. And to be fair, if you watch the stream, I was just skipping along.
Yeah, that was all Ryan's fault.
Ryan put himself in that Ryan's position.
Fault. Max not only fixed his camera, but he upgraded his whole. You see this? Look at this. He's got the backlight. He's got the high definition camera all up in here. He can zoom in so you can see, like you can stare into your soul. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing now.
Your nostril hairs.
Oh, can you? I do need to trim them, huh?
I don't know. I actually didn't look that far in, so never mind. I won't say it.
That far in? Oh, really?
Well, that depends on your relationship. Some people like it, some people don't.
Maybe I'm one of the weird women here, but I absolutely love when you're in the kitchen making lunch, breakfast, dinner, or whatever, and your man comes in behind you and just on the booty as he walks by every single time.
Yes. Okay.
So goes to the fridge, booty smack. Comes back from the fridge, booty smack. Let me taste what you're eating, booty smack. You're like, what the? Really?
Maybe it's like Asian culture, but when it's at home, like I love that sort of stuff. But like out in the real world, I'm not a huge PDA person. I love holding hands and maybe cuddling, but I wouldn't be like heavy makeouts, that sort of thing. Like, no. I don't know if I even. I have to think about this one. No.
What was that? What was that? I think there was like a TikTok or something where, like the guy comes up behind the girl, slaps her ass in the kitchen or whatever, and she said something. It might have been the one that you posted, Tugs. I'm not sure, but she says something like, "Oh, you trying to make babies now?" or something like that, or like and I was like, that's pretty funny because it gets her mind thinking.
That's me in a relationship. Oh, you want to go? Let's go.
It definitely opens the door for that. That's for sure.
Dump her immediately. I'm just kidding. That's terrible relationship advice, but dump her. No, don't.
Now, you're saying with the hand or with something else?
I've not experienced that, but I mean, I guess that just depends on the size of your broccoli stem. I've not experienced that. Goes to fridge. Yeah, literally, you're making dinner. Yeah. And you walk by, whack. What are you doing? Getting a beer. Okay. Close the fridge door. Got your beer. Pop the beer open. Bah! You're like, oh, you want to go? Okay, let's go. To the bedroom.
Yeah. Cavitano wants symmetry.
That's why there's two of them. That's why there's two. You gotta get both. Just like you don't work out only the right leg. You gotta work out the left leg too. You gotta smack both.
Symmetry.
It's gotta be even. All right, what's the next topic? Do we have any more? Yes,
we
Kathy.
do.
To go to bed, sir.
All right, 1 second.
Yeah, exactly, Disparu. One booty cheek will get jealous of the other one, and then it's a fight, and it's a problem.
Ooh, Disparu, would love to hear your thoughts on relationships.
Oh boy, you guys covered this.
Thought.
Who covered this? Elaine.
Y'all keep trying to get me to cover this post, and I haven't read it fully through, but I guess we're gonna do it live.
Let's do it. Millennial men want 1950s housewives after they have kids. All right. The ambition of millennial women has been long lauded from their girl power childhoods to their PhDs. Women are now the backbone of the workforce. In 2018, 74 men earned bachelor degrees for every 100 women. Some 64% of women are now breadwinners or equal earners in their households, and no wonder. They've grown up being told that women are able to do and be anything until they become mothers. At this point, many of their partners apparently expect them to turn into June Cleaver on Leave It to Beaver. Laura Bazelon's new book, Ambitious Like a Mother, explores how working mothers get tasked with a second shift, i.e., all the domestic and family work that occurs after paid work ends for the day. I'm going to read the next paragraph and we can talk about this. Even among households where partners initially split chores equally, childcare ends up falling to mothers. 75% of moms are the ones who assume responsibility for appointments like children's checkups. They're 4 times more likely than their partners to miss work to take care of sick children, a statistic that became all too clear during the pandemic. Even in normal times, women spend approximately 2 hours per day tending to domestic work more than their partners. A 2013 research paper by economics professors Francine DeBlau and Lawrence M. Kahn claimed that modern men do not adjust the amount of time they dedicate to the housework based on their wife's employment. Okay. So, I guess we could go with like initial thoughts. Do you agree that this is something that you think is correct? I mean, like studies are studies, right?
Tugs, do you want me to go first, or do you want
Yeah,
to kind of?
I've talked about this, so I have thoughts, but you guys have not yet. So please, you first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know that you spoke about this on Alasia's stream the other night, and I wasn't able to sit in and listen into it, unfortunately. I was hoping I was, so that I'd get a little bit of a cheat sheet. This one's tough. This one's tough because there's a part of me that says, well, because of the third wave feminist movement that has been recently a topic of discussion within the past probably decade or so, that's really been prevalent. Women have been saying much more, to be empowered, they have to have a job of their own. They have to be CEOs. Look at Disney. The force is female. Everything is like female empowerment, which is, hey, all power to you. But when you take on that power, you also take on the responsibility with that job. And some women don't want that. Some women want the responsibility of motherhood or of like a caretaker at home. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Neither is wanting to have a job. But if you do have that job, and if you're that CEO or you're that corporate woman, if that's what you want to be, I think you also have to know what it takes to be in that environment. I mean, X-Ray, you are in a workplace where your hours differ and change like all the time. Like being an X-ray tech, you are on call for whatever happens, whatever wing you're in, whether it's like hospice or ER or like all the different
inpatients, outpatients emerge, essentially.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but
that's okay.
so yeah, with that being said, though, you know the responsibility that you have with that job and the hours that it requires and what that means for your relationship with Mark. But yeah, I don't know. I don't adhere to this notion that we should blame men for this, though. And that's where I don't know if the article gets into this more or anything, but it looked like it was trying to veer that way, that men are trying to say, no matter what type of job these women have, that they have their responsibilities at home and they are meant to do that. And I just hate this constant backlash against the toxic male at home when it's the woman's decision to go and have this 9 to 5, or the woman's decision to be empowered, have this job, and not understand the roles and responsibilities of what that means, I guess. That may be very controversial, so I'm sorry, but
maybe no, and I think it depends on the relationship. But like like myself, I know what I bring to the table. I know what Mark brings to the table. If we have kids, we've talked about what that would look like, right? And maybe that's something that people have failed to do. I'm not saying specifically, but the other thing is when you say like women are responsible for appointments, I have to say I'm a lot more organized with my calendar than say Mark is.
Yeah.
And that's okay because that's what my forte is. And if you have children, you need to know, okay, so maybe you're doing more responsibility with the domestic work, but maybe I would hope that your husband is not just sitting on the couch. Shield Wall, I think it was Shield Wall that says, so for this article to be complete, we need to know what the men are doing during the 2 extra hours.
According to the article, the impression the article gives off is yes. He is at work. And he's at work, she's at work, and he expects her, this author of this article is, just for a little bit more context, she is a lawyer on top of being an author. And anybody who knows anything about lawyers is they work a bazillion and a half hours. So even if he had a 9-to-5 job and she had a 9-to-5 job and that she was consistent, they're working the same amount of hours. So the article does not say that the husband's just sitting there doing nothing. It indicate that, or seems to indicate that husbands are working, so they're not just like bums at home, which makes this all the more hilarious to me.
But my question is, if you're going out and doing the work, don't you have maybe someone to tend to the home? Like maybe you should hire someone to clean your home. Maybe if you're not going to put in the work to be a domestic housewife, maybe if you want to have a high power career, and Mark and I have talked about this, that if we are doing stuff like this, what can we do in order to make our lives better if we're both working or not both working? Right?
Yeah. I think sorry, keep going.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
My this is what my parents do, and I think it works very well for them. I mean, they've obviously succeeded in their marriage for the past however many years, but they both work, and what they separate jobs fairly. So if my mom cooks, my dad does the dishes afterwards. If my mom waters the plants, my dad will fertilize the soil. You know what I mean? Like they have equal but opportunistic ways around the house that can help both of them out. And it's not this like, oh, it empowers her or it empowers him. It's just like what you sacrifice for that relationship. If you guys are in love and you guys know that, hey, we have a house to keep up. And even though we both worked, and maybe they'll sacrifice every now and then, and maybe dad will come home and be like, hey, I've had a really rough day. And so in that case, she'll cook and do dishes, but it's not like a constant every night thing. And it's not like he's, doing this. Yeah, I don't know.
Can I just say one word?
Oh, yeah.
Communication.
Yes, there it is.
There is communication between both partners to make the relationship work. I don't know specifically because this is her talking about her own relationship. Did you have the communication to be like, well, I'm doing this 2 extra hours of work? I've said this, if you can pay for someone to do something to help you be a family, why not? Especially if you're in a high-powered career. That 2 hours to do the extra work per day, can you pay someone that you're making the difference up in to make your lives better? And I've had talks, like one of my really good friends, he is married to a doctor. He is not the breadwinner. So they figured out a way to make the relationship work in which both parties are very happy with how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So if she wants a high power career, she needs to know what she's sacrificing, and he needs to know what she's sacrificing in order to make this relationship work.
And having a high powered career may be the reality of never having children either, because not being home ever and leaving your children to somebody else is a huge problem in this country. Huge problem. Daycare, parents not being home, they work a lot, they're not there to raise their kids, they're not there to discipline their kids, not there to see what their kids are up to. We get teen pregnancies, we get drugs, we get all these crazy things. So like there's a downfall to it too. you know. So there's a lot of studies that have divorced, you know, and then they end up getting divorced. These parents end up getting divorced because they are fighting over whatever, or they can't make it work. Or she's like, I'm independent, I don't need this, I'm working, and blah blah blah.
But it's the same thing, vice versa.
You know, it's
where is this equality? Right? Like, why can't we express both parties and figure it out? And Eric K, I actually did not see your chat. We just expressed the same thoughts. You have to blame both for not competing.
You guys are the same person sharing a brain.
And responsibility should be. And I mean, like, that's the thing. You see these women and men both in high power careers. You have there has to be some give if you have children, whether it be nannies, a housekeeper, all this stuff. You know, if that's what you want, your career is more important than being at home. Or maybe during the time that your kids are at work, you have these people to help tend for your home. And then when you come home, someone has food cooked already for you, and then you can spend time with your kids. Now, I had conversations with this couple that I've, you know, that I know, where it's like, you know, we spend 4 to 5 hours on the Sunday cleaning the house. Do you think it's worth it? And I've told them, I think it's worth it if it means more time with your family. You guys are both working a lot. Like, that 5 hours could be precious. So maybe it's good to have a cleaner for you specifically. If it works for you, it works for you. If that time is precious, that 5 hours that you save to pay someone to clean, why not? It's specifically that scenario.
Yeah, and if they have the financial stability to do that, if they both have incomes, then time is precious. Yeah. Time does mean more than money in that situation, and they can set aside, you know, once every 2 weeks, have a deep clean. Someone come in and deep clean or something, or even just once a week. I don't know.
Well, or if, say, one partner, whether male or female, we're going to be equal here, makes less than what it takes to tend or care for your home and kids, then that's where you say, maybe it's better you stay home. And that's the communication piece. If he's making less than her and less than what it takes to compensate for that, or vice versa, it's okay to be a house husband, I think.
As long as the respect is still there and the communication, I think it's fine. Unfortunately, every scenario I've ever seen of a man staying at home or taking care of the house, or, you know, being or not being the breadwinner, the female has this sort of empowerment, I'm better than you status. And that's really toxic, and that can be very demeaning to him, because the all a man really wants to do is protect and care for and provide. That's like his sole purpose in life, is to do that for a child or for a woman or for a family or whatever it is. For me, it was in the military. I wanted to provide for my platoon. That was my sole purpose of existing, was for these guys to succeed. And if I can't do that, I've failed at my job. So if that, in that relationship, if that's something that a guy can't do, or if he's lacking that, and the woman is very clear about that, the women resent non-breadwinner men. They at least from the examples that I've seen, and this, you know, this isn't for everyone. Some women are they are fantastic with this. You know, some women are really respectful with this. But from the examples that I have seen, it's like they take advantage of the fact, and they will kind of make him the village idiot of the home if he is not pulling in the bread.
Maybe in the aspects that I've seen it, and this is because with the career that I've had, at least with X-ray techs, as a full-time, you strategically, and I know it's different from the States, because you guys have paternity, maternity leave. It's like, what, 12 weeks?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, actually,
we get about a year to 18 months. So our government covers percentage, and then, like, as an X-ray tech full time, you get a top up to 100%. So I've seen full timers take advantage of that top up monetarily and take say the last 3 months of their maternity leave so that they maximize the payment. So I think it's a little different in terms of like the type of relationship, the type of job, and maybe the short term that I've seen that men take off to take care of the home, take care of the kids. It's not as bad as more long term, year, 2 years, 3 years. Because I think your examples, how long has that been that you've seen?
Yeah, like if it's a career choice where you're thinking of staying in this field of like, being there for years, maybe even a decade of continuing that career or whatnot. And this is, like you said, it's not something that's just monetarily like accessible for the next 3 months and then it's back to normal or whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it continually goes back to the communication aspect and what people want from that relationship. It's, relationships are so nuanced and like so complicated that we can never really, I can say this from a comfortable place in an air conditioned room with all my toy figures around me. Like it's easy for me to talk about this now, but if I were in the actual scenario, I'm sure it would be so much more difficult and so much more nuanced and complicated than I could have imagined. And at that point in time, I would have to make that decision. But now I can talk all I want about it because I'm comfortable, and I think that's I think I have to realize that when I talk about some of this stuff. So he made less but got medical. Oh, interesting, Rogue.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
That's why I don't work full time though.
Well, the thing is, and I think that and I didn't touch on this either. I was just thinking about it while I was listening to you guys. The most important aspect of any of this is what's best for the child that you chose to bring into this world.
If they have one, yeah.
That's the ultimate decision. Because as a product of divorced parents, I lost out on a lot. My mom went from being a stay-at-home mom 24 hours a day, total like caregiver, traditional feminine, that kind of a thing, cooked, cleaned, whatever, picked us up from school, house mom at the elementary school, to gone. And we lost out on a lot. We lost out on a lot of cooking lessons for us to provide for our own husbands. Had to learn a lot of that on my own. I mean, with her help, hey mom, how do I do this? As I got older, but we lost out on a lot as girls. And it might not be so dramatic for boys. I don't know. I don't have brothers. But for us girls, we lost out on a lot. We lost out on that connection. We went from home cooked meals to let's pop this rotisserie chicken, in the microwave or whatever. And it took a strain on the family. The divorce did. And so that's something that you have to talk to each other about. And that's something that I think a lot of people, just modern nowadays, they get into these relationships without expecting to be married. And, oh, well, I'm going to do what I want. But you're not thinking of the kids and the repercussions that could have possibly on them. You know what I mean? For me, I will quit working and I will not go back to work until they are in school, and I can pick up a part-time job if I need to while they're in school. I mean, that's just what I want to do. And so if I meet a guy and he's not willing to be okay with that, then we might not be so compatible when we have kids. But that's what I want my kids for. That's what I want to do with my kids. I want to be at home. I want that traditional nuclear family. That's what I'm looking for. But I'm more of a traditional person. So when it comes to that stuff. But yeah.
And to be fair, there are, like, I remember dating a girl that worked from home. She worked for this, some company and was like this, I think it was like real estate or something. She made more money than I was making while I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding me? You sit on your ass all day and you make like twice as much as I do. And like, I'm going on deployments and stuff. So the at-home workplace, the at-home office, you can make great money, depending on what your job is or what the opportunities are there for you. I think COVID really showed that a lot of people don't need to be at work, or they don't need to, be at that location to work successfully. Because there are a lot more opportunities for men and women to be at home and work from home. So yeah, people treat marriage now as status and something to hold over the other.
I think that it's definitely changed its meaning. That's for sure for a lot of people. And this is the thing too. Rogue Disney brings up another good point. working long hours as parents, you're going to miss out. You know, so that's something that you have to be like, am I okay missing out? Am I okay leaving my baby with this person who's going to see their first steps, who's going to see them learn to talk, who's going to see them because I want to pursue this high powered career that I've wanted my whole life or whatever. Like, these are all things that you have to consider for yourself, you know, not just each other, but for yourself. Like, especially, you know, as women, we're a little bit more emotional about that stuff. Like, oh my gosh, you know, that kind of thing, you know, so that's something you have to consider as a parent. Am I okay with possibly more than likely missing out on all of these life events? You know what I mean?
I want to bring a little bit of an immigrant parent thoughts into this, because I know the idea of being there all the time for your kids is really like, you want that, but I know, like, specifically my parents, they wanted to give us each and every single opportunity they could for us that they never had growing up, because they grew up very, very, very poor, and they were very lucky to even just make it to Canada. So and I remember this, we got every opportunity to go to all the hobbies we wanted. We grew up thinking we were poor. You know, they wouldn't come home till like 6-7 o'clock to take us to our hobbies. And then, you know, as we got older, they gave us more opportunities. I got to learn a skill that I could start working in the workforce at 16 and learn skills that ended up actually helping me in the end. Did I have like a traditional Canadian American family? Not at all. And it's something where, yes, I look back and I think like, I would have loved to have that strong connection with my mother and my father when we were younger. But then again, now that I have and know what they've sacrificed to give me, I love and respect them so much. And it's actually brought us closer. And so, and that's the thing. It's like every family is
thing too. Yeah. Every family is different. And your cultures bring that, like, you bring that too. Like, it just depends on, you know, so I don't know.
So it's really very interesting to hear. But I will say, as an X-ray tech, when I see parents begging kids to behave,
oh boy.
There's something in me that says you treat them as your friends versus your children.
Oh yeah,
that's a big problem. Yes.
So and that's where I say, like, whether traditional or not traditional, that's where I draw my line. You're not my friend, you are my child.
Yep.
And we'll go with that.
When you grow up and move out of the house to have some life lessons.
I always think of that mom from Mean Girls, the one.
Oh my god, where the dog is biting her.
Yeah, she's like, "You girls, just whatever you need, just let me know."
You want alcohol?
Condoms.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Oh my god. Yeah,
don't be that parent. Don't be that parent. Please, I beg you. Don't be that parent.
We know X-Ray is not going to. She ain't going to take any of that trash.
Oh my god, Cavitano! At night. So when Harley walks around the bed, Jojo will kind of give a little growl, and I will literally just say, "Jojo," and she's like. So yeah, I'm gonna attack her mom.
Love it. Hell yeah.
Oh, should I be reading this out?
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm like reading it.
Rogue Disney. This just caught my attention. I was like, oh my god. Rogue Disney. I know that once my dad passed, I counted the amount of time we as a family missed together with him sacrificing to give us a better life. Hindsight, I don't know if that time was worth the less time together.
Ooh. It's so hard because it's something that's past. It's so hard to know. Because I haven't been through that. So that's why, like, for me, I know a lot about family death and dying in the hospital. So as I've gotten older, I've tried to open up the door way more in communication with them. Since.
So my buddy is a hospice chaplain, and his biggest thing is just loss. Like, that's the biggest. The question that he always is posed with is just like, why did he have to go, or we didn't get enough time with him, or whatever.
There'll never be enough time, really.
So he gets that all the time, but he's a strong dude. I mean, that's his daily just grind, you know. But so I respect you, you hospital peeps. You guys got it difficult. My dad's a chiropractor, and he has some pretty cool stories of success stories though of people doing some really cool things, but long hours for sure.
And I don't know, there's a quote that from one of my favorite like morning show hosts that it resonates so well with me. It never gets easier. It never gets better, it just gets easier.
With loss?
With loss, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at that age now. I mean, you guys got a few years to go. But I mean, you know this, in the military at some point it's just like death after death after death after death, and you just become like, here we go again. I'm at that age now where I've got family members, older family members who are, they just age out. I'm in my mid 30s, and so that puts them in their mid 60s or higher. And it's just, I work with a bunch of men that are in their 70s and 80s, and it's just a matter of time. So you spend what you can with them, you treat them with kindness, and you have fun, and make friends and kinships and stuff, and that way you have something good to say about them when they're gone, and that's all you can do, Unfortunately. Remember when the threat of wait till your dad gets home was enough to straighten your booty out fast? Yeah. So that's also what's interesting with the household. People are always like, well, women were repressed in the 40s and 50s and blah, blah, blah. Man, she ran that roost.
I was scared of mom so much. And dad was the last threat.
Dad was
the scariest, but mom was pretty freaking scary.
Wait until your dad gets home. Oh shoot, I'm in trouble. And dad would get home, and you just the look. You all know the dad look. Bye. Sorry, dad. Oh god, yeah. And he didn't even question her. She just would say, "Your children have been on one today, or whatever. Your children did this. Your children. That's all you had to hear." And immediately, dad would be like, "Oh my, really? Sorry, bye." He didn't question it. Oh, she's complaining to me about you after I've had to work all day? Absolutely not. Treat your mom with respect. Go pick your Switch.
Hi, Nico. For $10.
Nico.
Says hi, ladies. Hi, MVP. Or hey, MVP. Thank
Hello.
you, Nico, for the $10. Yeah.
Thanks for the 10.
This is getting into like some deep conversations. I didn't know we were gonna go this way.
Wow. You never know what's gonna happen when you're with Tugs next week, girl.
Apparently. True. It is really true. And I mean, really, relationships, loss, all that, it's all wrapped up into one. Oh wow. Oh my god, I hate it when they do the full name. Extra girl last name. Oh yes,
Oh, when Maxfield was said, Maxfield was game over. Game over.
Yeah.
When Maxfield was when that was dropped, it was a hard dude, you ain't seeing your friends for a week, my man. You are grounded.
My dad would do the count thing. My dad would do the countdown thing. So we would be acting up so my dad worked graveyard with his job for a lot of me growing up. And so when we were having dinner, that was like his breakfast. He was getting ready to go to work, right? So he was already kind of cranky because he hasn't quite woke up yet. And we're just acting a fool at the table. And my mom would be like, stop it, knock it off, whatever. And my dad would just go, 1, without eating, not even missing a beat, 1. And you're like, uh-oh, because the count was on. Go brush your teeth, go. One time I decided to be sassy and say 2.
No.
I'm surprised I'm still breathing, to be honest. But yeah. Ooh,
I still have the red mark on my ass from getting slapped. So
I have like this scar permanently. But all I had to say was just didn't even stop eating. 1. Whoop. Go. To the bathroom.
Yeah.
Dads are funny.
They are.
You're great.
Alrighty. Well, we have stuff for next week, I guess, with our 36 questions about love. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going through some of these. I'm
Ruben for that.
So good.
I'm so interested in that. Yeah. I've never heard of that before, Ruben. So great find.
Yeah. Well, we'll
You're
figure it
welcome
out
to
for
join in.
next week if
Mhm.
it's true. Before we go, Front Porch Conservative for $4.99. You never know what you're gonna get with X-Ray Girl and Tugs. Hashtag true words. Thank you, Front Porch. It's true. It's
Hail
true.
Front
Like we
Porch,
go
yeah.
on tangents.
I can
And this
say
is
though, the one
Nope.
thing you are going to get, no matter what, is a good time. Like we're fun people.
heck yeah.
We're fun
I
to
don't
hang
know
out with.
how
Don't
or
take that
why.
weird.
It just works.
It does work.
It all started with Babe. Thanks, Mark.
See, and this is the difference, right, between men and women. We talk a big game, you know, don't do this, or I'm going to throw out your toys. Like if you're bad, like the empty threats that we'll never do. The difference is that the dad will do it because dad is no nonsense, and that's why men and women balance each other out and we compliment each other. Dad's going to be like whack. Mom's just going to go one more time, and I'm going to smack you. One more time, I'm going to smack you. Like 6 times later. Difference between men and women.
He's not playing still. Joseph? Johnny's off.
No, did he start again? You stop.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I just checked now. I had to.
Oh, okay. I was like,
He should be dead
Johnny.
asleep now.
He better be in bed. No, what
I
is today?
sure as hell
Wednesday?
hope so.
He's playing with Geeks and Gamers. I bet you anything he's playing with Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, crap. I forgot to check.
Yeah, they're doing Fortnite. Yep, there he is. Is that him?
What the freak is wrong with him?
That
Yep, that's him.
dummy.
It's Jeremy, Krista, and Johnny. Johnny! Can we
this
just
Bruce
control
is
your
yeah,
boyfriend,
he's
please?
like,
Can you please
I
talk to
can't-
me, man?
I try and get him to come back to bed with me, and he just refuses to. He
you
keeps
tried
saying,
the
"I
Silkies?
have work to do, Max."
Oh. Have you tried the Silkies?
Wow, he looks tired too.
He's gonna crash on stream. He's gonna go.
His beard's getting fluffy.
Fluffy. That's a nice way of putting it. That's a really...
Wow.
gosh
Even
dang,
his lightings make
Johnny.
him look tired.
Johnny, no, you need. We all need to go. Like, if only we could raid on.
I know.
Like from YouTube to Twitch or something.
Everybody go tell Johnny to go to bed. Put my Cappy
Yeah.
emojis in the chat if you have to. Go to bed.
Sorry for not believing you, Joseph. That literally your avatar was me.
Oh yeah. We probably should.
I know he is a traitor. Normally he's in here hanging out with us. I would have loved to hear his opinions on these topics, honestly. Dang it. Oh well, that's okay. We'll hear him next week, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure we are going to hear those next week.
Ooh, the wooden spoon.
Oh,
Ow!
I had a big chopstick. Big.
That's why all of our booties are so big, okay? They had to grow that extra padding to protect ourselves against the spoon. Yeah, Cappy emojis for Johnny. Cappy, go in there and tell Johnny to go to bed.
I will say one of my favorite depictions of a father figure is from The Lion King, and when Mufasa is talking to Simba, because he's like they're looking up at the stars, right? And Simba is like all like he's like coming up, and his ears are down, and his tail is down, and Mufasa just looks at him, and he gives him this like
the eyebrow.
The eyebrow. But then he goes, you directly disobeyed me or something like that. And Simba's like, I know. But then once Mufasa sees that he's kind of like, he understands the point, he's gotten the point across. Simba's exhausted. He's sad. He's tired. All this stuff. Mufasa like lightens up a bit, and he goes, hey, but you know what? It's okay, because no one messes with your dad, right? And he goes, yeah, no one messes with dad. And I love that depiction. I'm like, yes, yeah, that's how it should be. You know, once you get the lesson, once you understand, then you turn it back around and you go, hey, but it's going to be okay. But that stern nature is what you need at first. You can't, like X-Ray, you were saying, you can't just be his friend, you know, but
you're just supposed to guide them.
It's a good, I love that. I love that observation.
Go, yeah. If you guys either in chat or if you guys are watching this on the replay, go watch Lion King again. That moment is just perfect.
Booty smacks in the kitchen all day long.
Serve you well.
I mean, Mark always says, I don't believe him because it's not that great, but in my opinion, but you know, whatever.
What's not that great?
My butt.
Oh, I think Mark would beg to differ.
Oh,
I beg to differ, and I've seen you with no clothes on.
Oh.
Yes, she has.
Tug is like, and it won't be the last time.
And it won't be the last time.
Vegas. By the way, guys, I'm sharing a room with Tugs.
Yeah. We're kicking Mark out. He's gonna
And Mark.
He's gonna sleep in the lobby.
We might get an adjoining door with people.
If the people are willing to make that happen, we have to ask the people.
Make it work. Well, I know. Yeah, we need the communication. There needs to be
We need to communicate more about that though, because it has to be a request. Like we have to put that request in like ASAP.
Correct.
Yes.
And normally, because like I know you can, if it's like a convention status, and I know this isn't convention status, but like sometimes you can actually book rooms as a group, but I don't think we have that amount.
No.
No.
That would have to go through Gary.
But I mean, I'm okay with an elevator too. It's fine. Or a walk.
Absolutely not.
The
I will tip money if I have to. Absolutely. We are getting across the hallway at the minimum.
At the minimum. That was fun when we had across the hallway.
Yeah, that was fun in Boston. Gosh, our room was the hangout room. Everybody came over and had.
We always had the party room, to be honest.
Well, that changes this year. It's
whoa! Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, our room can still technically be at the party room because.
Technically, yeah. If it's like,
open the door.
There's a door, and another door, and another door.
Doors everywhere.
So if you haven't yet, please book your tickets to go.
It's gonna be wild.
Do not want to miss out on Vegas.
Yeah.
And yeah, dates for Texas come out this Friday, so everyone keep a lookout on Friday because that. Okay, cool. And those should be out this Friday. I've got my tickets to the con, my flight tickets, and my hotel. So it's like that one is set in stone. The only one I'm still waiting on is just Vegas. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
By the way,
I mean, he hasn't even booked it yet. Good.
The fan expo for my Torontonians.
Gina,
I might be going.
When is that?
The same August in Dallas.
20. Oh, freak. August.
Oh, it's like that
25th
next
to 28th.
Yeah.
Balls.
In Toronto.
I can't wait that one.
So we'll see. News to come. Okay. Lots
what
of
happens in the biggest shows? Oh, maybe we'll get Baby Cyborg. We gotta come up with a rule on that. Ties on the door or something, so I can go and bug other people that are.
I'll just put his leg in front of the door.
Yes!
He doesn't need it right now, okay?
Yes. That way I can go bug other people for the hours and hours that it's gonna take.
Well,
I'll play the sexy sax on repeat.
If you say, I'm gonna text Max and be like, "You want to go get some food? Let's go get food."
If the regular leg is out in front of the door, fine. But if his like super, high speed technical piston worked leg, if that one is that one needs to be.
Tube socks,
yeah. I've said too much.
Extra girl's like, what do you know? Max is gonna have the Silkies room.
Oh, maybe we'll hold a Silky
Mine
on the
have
door.
been shipped finally. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, you guys have been awesome. Thank you, Max, for joining us. This was really
my gosh.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
I know it was a little last minute, but it was really fun.
No, it was, but thank you guys so much for having me on. I am always in awe of y'all's intelligence, and some of the words that you guys have here is so much fun. It's great because it's fun, but it's also really informative, and it's just a great time, not only for myself, but I know for people in chat and everything. So it is a pleasure. I always feel like I'm intruding on the girls' pillow fight party. So whenever I do come on, I'm always honored. So thank you.
I love having you.
I'll bring my extensions again.
Yes.
Don't tempt me. Don't tell
Oh,
me.
then we can do a proper photo shoot, and I can change the contact photo I have for you.
Well, you know what I'll do? If you bring your extensions, X-ray, I will do a full Northman and just put a little headband on and nothing but silkies, and I'll have
Okay, I was gonna be like, how far Northman are we going with this?
Get out. We're going all the way.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
that will be in Max's room.
We're just
I
gonna have
happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas.
yeah. It's gonna be great.
All right, Max, you want anything to plug?
Yeah, you guys can find me at my channel, right meow, MVP Maxfield on Priestley. We have memberships now, so if you guys want to, you can do like a monthly rate of just to kind of support me, support the channel. But yeah, it's totally up to you guys. I appreciate all the support, whether you're subscribed or you're a member. But there's some pretty cool tiers. One of the things I did today was I went to the comic shop and I picked up a bunch of really rad comics. And so what I did is for my members, I sent out a video today and I told them which ones to get, which ones to avoid, and some of the ones that I really liked. So just kind of some fun stuff like that. And it doesn't get posted publicly, so it's only for y'all.
Yeah, we get our tag.
It's like the OnlyFans version of you.
Yeah, Max is OnlyFans. Not enough silkies, but we'll get there.
NerdCon.
Corey. Yes, we agree, Corey. We love having Max on, honestly. He's always got really good insight.
He does. I mean, like from the very first time we met him, whatever.
Remember
the second time we met him. No, it wasn't the first. Because the first time we met him, I remember you tired ramen, all that. But like the second time we actually like talked, and they're like, you asked that like big question, and I was like, oh, we're going here, eh?
For the drive from the Excalibur to our hotel, it was like intense, and I was here for everything.
Okay. All right.
Oh, thanks, Paul. I appreciate that, brother.
Shush.
All I needed to mention was Northman, huh? But yeah, no, it was super fun. I definitely appreciate more so the deeper conversations, which is why I think the Poor Choices streams are so much fun, and why I think a lot of people appreciate them more, because you can have a stream that's very surface level, or it's just like, hey, how's it going? Good. How are you? And it doesn't really get farther than that. But I think we wrestle and cover with some, or wrestle with and cover some really interesting topics that may be uncomfortable and
don't get talked about often at all.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And I love that we have both perspectives. Like we have the wise married one, and we have the guy's perspective, also wise but not married.
The young.
And we have me, who's like, I don't know.
I think the thing that I appreciate from people is that we've experienced whatever we experience, and we bring that to the table. And I think, especially when you haven't experienced a lot and you're open to it, that this is really great for you. And even if you are experienced, like there are things that maybe you haven't thought about, or you're enlightened. And if this changes even just one person or helps them make a decision, then I mean, worth it.
Absolutely. To be fair, Sundrop.
We are different. And I think that's why we've had a consistent like 40. I think our average was like 40 something tonight watching, which thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I
mean,
hey,
you gotta call me out like that. Just let a girl blush.
I will say, I did tell Tugs, I was like, if you watch Doctor Strange, I would love to talk about the motivation behind Wanda in that perspective.
I need to watch
if we do talk about that. I think that's a little bit, that would be an interesting topic in terms of relationship, family, life, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want me on that stream, and I will gladly be very adamantly away for that day.
I'm one of the few people who really liked WandaVision, so
I feel like let's not get into that at this point.
I'm gonna watch it.
Pictures like
I think she's gonna go full blown House of M in this, and I'm kind of here for it, but I guess we'll find out. I gotta watch.
Yeah, but we have to all watch it for that to happen first, and because I no spoilers and all that.
I'm not blushing. It's my makeup.
Yeah, it's her lighting. It's red, right?
Yeah, it's the camera, guys. Yeah.
It's my lighting.
Really making it worse.
Not at all the image that I was presented with. Nope. It's tough.
All right. Okay. Well, unless Tugs, you want to, plug something?
What is today, Wednesday? I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't have anything to plug officially other than, no, I don't know. I might go live tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. I'm on Twitch. Go follow me. I don't know.
Links are in the description for both of us. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am going to do, not next week, the week after, Monday, we're going to do more Firefly.
Yes! I'm so glad you're watching.
Yeah, your Firefly review was so much fun. One. Two, I think it's great that we're getting more positive media out there that's actually discussing good shows and shows that we want to watch. And two or three, I don't even know what number I'm on. If you guys want to go get this girl monetized, go watch it and then just have her streams or have her live shows like, you know, play on repeat. We were able to do that for Poor Choices like that quick. So let's do it for X-Ray. And Tugs, go follow her on her Twitch because her Twitch
it's
shows
so fun.
are wild. She's got the dopest emojis. So yeah.
You think it gets crazy here?
Oh boy, especially when I'm in the Discord and people pop in and scare me.
Yeah, but anyways, you guys have been amazing. Thank you, Max, again. Thank you, Tugs.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah, anytime, Max. We'd love to have you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, do all the things. Subscribe, like, comment. I'm being so cringe right now. But yeah, you guys have been great. Love you, chat.